Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Las Vegas Advisor Weekly Update with Anthony and Andrew. And today is Thursday, September 1st, and we're coming to you on a Thursday as opposed to a Wednesday because you had to finish the LVA and get it out.
Las Vegas Advisor deadline, end of the month.
Yep.
So, something that we have to do every month, and it's we just couldn't shoot because we went right up to the last second basically to get to the printer.
Now, you've been doing this newsletter since the 80s, right?
Yeah, in some version, one way or another, yeah. It was just an idea I had. I said, this might be cool because I wanted to come to town and I couldn't find any information. So I always said, someday I'll do a newsletter about Vegas. Yeah. And now we're, without question, the longest running newsletter probably in history on this subject.
And blog, too, on the internet.
Yeah. So, it's cool. It's tough at the end of the month. And when it crosses with a Wednesday, it sometimes we have to do the posting on a Thursday. So that's what we're doing. And all right, it's a Labor Day weekend, and it's really hot. It's hot as hell. Yeah. It's crazy hot. We're at 110, 111, 112 on the 1st of September. Yeah. Which is, I don't think it's a record, but it's right around there. It's usually not this hot. We get through the scorching summer, and we can't wait for September, and October's even better. But this is just like the middle of July right now. Yeah, so it is, if you come to Vegas, just know it is hot, and we always like to give the reminder to, take all your players' cards and things out of your car. Yeah. Things that can break. Well, it's going to be busy this weekend. There's usually about 325,000 people come to town. Yeah. So, for the 3-day weekend. So it's going to be a busy one, and it's going to be a hot one. Okay. It's going to be a scourger. All right, and big news of the week is I hear we got some new Showgirls in town, Anthony. Big, tall Showgirls. Yeah. Showgirls are always tall. They've got to be a certain level of height to get the job. Well, these are 50-foot tall. Oh, wow. Showgirls. Yeah, so Vegas Vicky's going to have some new friends in town. Yeah, exactly. So what we got here is over by the Strat, they put up a couple of 50-foot tall Showgirls. Obviously, they're not real. They're like big signs because they light up at night. And it's kind of like the Welcome to Vegas sign, but these are these two Showgirls, and they're on either side of the road on Main Street, I believe it is. Yeah. And it's a big deal. It was on the news and everything else. It's kind of another thing to see in Vegas. All right. So you got more stuff to see here. And that's like right by the Arts District, right? It's right by the Strat, right by the Arts District, and you're going towards Fremont Street. And they're doing a lot of stuff over there. They're doing a lot of artsy things there. Yeah. And it's called the Arts District. So they're trying to make it look kind of cool. And these Showgirls look cool. I haven't seen them in person. I'm going to go by probably tonight and take a look. All right. You heard it here. And now we have a little bit of news on Tito tickets. Do you want to tell the people what Tito tickets are, Anthony, if they don't know? Yeah, Tito, T-I-T-O, which stands for Ticket In, Ticket Out, which is the slot technology that got rid of coins. So those of you who have come to Vegas for a long time, you used to always put coins into slot machines. And they were hard to carry around, and they got your hands dirty, right? All that kind of stuff. So, I don't know how long ago it was, probably 20, 25 years ago. They decided to try this new technology called Tito, Ticket In, Ticket Out, which is what we use now, right? We use tickets, right? And then we go to the cashier and we cash. Well, when they started at MGM Grand, and they had, I'll never forget, they had 40 machines. And they had an area, just like they've got the Brian Christopher slot area. They had the Tito area, and nobody played them. Nobody. It was an absolute disaster. Oh, wow. And everyone said, this isn't going to work. They yanked the machines, and it was another year or two before somebody else stuck it in, and all of a sudden, boom, it took off, and everybody wanted to do this because it makes more sense, right? So anyway, the reason we're talking about it is because when they came out, I always thought to myself, there's going to be a lot of breakage. And by breakage, I mean tickets that aren't cashed. People either they don't want to cash them because it's small change, or they forget, they put them in their pocket, they take them home. Now how are they going to cash it? Right. And I said, I wonder what the breakage is going to be. Well, the breakage, it turns out, is pretty huge. It's $22 million a year. That's a lot. That's massive. That's how much money goes into a slot machine that is not lost in the slot machine, but is not redeemed. Right. So you're talking about like if I have like a Tito ticket for $43.27 and I'm playing dollars, and I lose all my money, there's still 27 cents left in the machine. I get up and I walk away. Yeah, and some people even worse than that. They might get down to, maybe they're playing a $5 machine, and they get down to, $3.50, and they go off fooey on it, and they just leave it there. Right. Or they, you see them laying around sometimes. And all over. I see them all over. The 10 cents here, 37 cents there. So we'll get back to that in a minute. But here's what happens with it. The money's, after 180 days, the tickets expire. And then the money is split 75% to the city, 25% to the casino where it came from. So talking about finding tickets, you know, you're not supposed to play those tickets. If
Right.
you find them laying around, you're not supposed to pick them up. You're not supposed to cash them. You're not supposed to play them. You'll basically get in trouble. It's a crime.
It's technically stealing.
Yeah, and so you're supposed to turn them in.
Okay.
And it's, you know, the term for it is silver mining.
Okay.
Because that's when a lot, you know, bums and people who wanted to get easy money used to come through and look for coins, and they used to call it silver mining. And the surveillance would be on the lookout for them, and they'd come and stop them and, you know, withhold, kick them out, whatever they wanted to do. But it's still, even though they're, you know, it's now paper mining, but it's still called silver mining.
That's really cool. And, you know, now you know. You heard it here. Don't play those tickets. And
I don't know. It's pretty hard to resist, right? You know.
But you heard it here. Good information. And as you know, we've been keeping our eye on the CIRCA Million Contest. Tell us what's going on, Anthony.
Well, we're looking at it because of the possibility of an overlay.
That's right.
All right, they're guaranteeing $6 million, which means they have to get 6,000 entrants at $1,000 apiece. And if they're under that, it's called an overlay, and it means that they're giving away more than they're taking in, and that's something good for gamblers. We've talked about that in the past. So we're looking at their two contests. The first one's Survivor. They need 6,000. As of this morning, they have 3,650. And the million, where you have even a better chance for this thing to go under the number, they need 6,000. They have 2,705.
All right. And when's the deadline?
Deadline is only about 7, 8 days from now.
Okay.
So they've only got a week to make up over 3,000. I don't think it's going to happen.
It doesn't look good. Yeah.
No, it's an opportunity. You know, I'm going to be playing it. A lot of people will, you know, wait till the end and see it's a good deal, and they'll jump in. So this will go up.
Sure.
But it's almost certainly going to be an overlay, and we'll know more next week.
All right. And we'll keep everybody updated week by week on this very exciting competition.
Yep.
So big sports betting news coming out of Kansas today, Anthony. Another state is live.
Yep, live sports betting in Kansas as of this morning. That is state number 31.
Okay.
Plus the District of Columbia. So we've got 32 states and districts that are now taking live sports bets. Remember when it used to be Vegas only,
right?
Or Nevada only?
Well, it seems like they can't pass these laws fast enough. It seems like they're getting passed state by state very quickly.
And the biggest ones haven't come on yet. You know, still no California, still no Florida, still no Texas.
Okay.
But 31 others in the District of Columbia. Anybody who wants to follow this, we have a map. We have the legal sports betting map on LasVegasAdvisor.com.
Of course.
And you can see the balloons here. You know, the red balloons, the blue balloons means that it's active. Red balloons means that it's legal. And anybody who wants to check it, you know, we update it as soon as it happens.
That's awesome. We'll put a link in the description box so you can check that out as well.
You know, one thing I should add, and why this is important, is that when they open up in a new state, and obviously people are watching us all over the place. They're in all different states. There's people in Kansas watching us right now, I assume. They're going to be giving incentives to sign up. And I mean, people that, you know, sort of thing that you get a free bet 1,000 and get $1,000 free bet, that sort of thing. These are very, very valuable. So you want to keep your eye out for it. We're actually we're getting licensed, Las Vegas Advisor is getting licensed state by state to be able to sign people up. And then when they sign up through us, we'll explain exactly how to do it. We'll give them some kind of a perk, like a couple of books or something like that. We're not signed up, you know, we're not licensed yet in Kansas, but we will be.
All right. Well, that's super exciting, and that's right around the corner. All right. And next, we wanted to take a minute to talk about the dispensary in town. Now, this dispensary, it's not weed, right, Anthony?
Right.
This is the dispensary.
It's the original dispensary.
Yeah.
All right. There's a bar on Tropicana called the Dispensary Lounge, 2451 East Tropicana. I'm sure we got it up on the screen. Why is this important? It's kind of a dive bar.
Okay.
But it's a jazz bar, and people are always asking me, where is there live jazz in Vegas? And there just kind of isn't. And there's been some tries at it, you know, but there's nothing in the casinos right now. But for years, the dispensary on Tropicana has had live jazz nights. And they stopped during the pandemic. The bar's been open since 1976. The owners are older, and they weren't sure they were going to bring it back, but they have. They've started live jazz again. And the way they do it is they pick one day a week. Every month, it's a different day. In September, it's going to be Thursdays. And then it starts at 9 o'clock, runs from 9 o'clock till midnight, live jazz. And then on the last Sunday of every month, it starts at 6 o'clock.
All right.
And it's just a great place to go. They got a great hamburger. It used to be a cheap hamburger. Now I think it's like $11. But it's live jazz. It's a real scene. You want to see what the locals do.
Is it free to get in?
It's the Dispensary Lounge. It's completely free.
Oh, there you go.
It's
free
cool,
show.
Man. It's cool.
All right. Thursdays, you got it at the dispensary And in this week's Jackpot of the Week, Joe, we get Joe for his second time. So he's saying, back in January, you featured my first Royal on your weekly update. Well, I have another story for you. About 3 hours before I left for my flight home, I played the double-double bonus progressive at the D's Long Bar, and I played it at the $2 level, a level I rarely play. I was dealt this flush, and of course, I took the 1 in 47 chance and drew this.
There he goes.
As the kids say, let's go.
That's great. Well, you know what? We try to spread it around, and we did Joe's first jackpot back in January.
Yep.
Because it was the first one he'd ever gotten. He said he'd been going to Vegas for 20 years, and he never got a jackpot. So he wrote to us, and it said, finally.
Yeah.
And this time he wrote to us, and he said, again. And it's, we wanted to run this one because it's kind of like, okay, this guy waited 20 years to get his first Royal. And now he comes back, to Vegas. He doesn't live in town. He comes back and he hits another Royal. So, I mean, they like start coming in bunches. That's the way it can go. That's what variance is. That's what the bell curve is. It's like it gets real good. It gets real bad. It's, you can never tell the way it's going to happen.
Yeah, you got to ride that wave if you're going to play. Now, Anthony, you told me a story off the record. I think you might have mentioned it on an episode, 30 or 40 episodes ago. You were playing video poker, but you didn't get a Royal for like 11 years.
I went 11 years once. And this was like when video poker was just, kind of starting out. This was in the late 80s, early 90s. And when it started. And I went 11 years without hitting a Royal.
Wow.
And then when I finally hit it, I was checking out a new game for an article I was writing. It was called Family Feud.
Okay.
And they had a video poker component to it. So I was playing the nickel game. So when I finally hit the Royal after 11 years, I was playing nickels, and it was short pay.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Right? Normally you get $200 when you hit a Royal for nickels. It was short pay. It was only $150 on this particular schedule. So
wow.
I finally hit a Royal, and it was about as bad as it can be. Now, since then, I've hit dozens of them.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Just dozens of Royals. Yeah. But I literally went 11 years. So everybody, keep your chin up, man. Keep trying, right?
You can't win if you don't play.
So let's take a quick look at the Royal that he hit.
Okay.
All right. He was playing at the Long Bar, which is a fun place to play, but they don't have really at the D, but they don't have really great schedules. The one he was playing was it's a 9-5 double bonus.
Okay.
So it's about he had a little extra on because it was progressive, so he was at about 98%. He hit the good jackpot for over $8,000, but in order for this game to have been break even at 100%, that progressive had to keep going up. He played it at 8,000. It had to be at 15,500.
Oh wow! Okay.
Had a long way to go for it to get to break even.
Yeah.
And how do we know that? We've talked about it before. The Gene Scott's Frugal Scouting Guide.
That's right.
It has that information. You literally look it up. You look up that schedule and say, what's the break even point? And we could see that it was about 15,500.
All right. So for those of you that are keeping track of the really good progressives in town, you get your scouting guide to go along with that.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about progressives. They will go up and up and up until either somebody hits it or they actually exceed 100%. That's what the pros look for.
Yeah. All right, and that's it for this week. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. We have crossed our goal of 10,000 subscribers. So we are going to go live tomorrow, September 2nd at 3
p.m.
3 p.m., and that's Pacific Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 3 p.m. Pacific Time, that's 6 p.m. East Coast Time.
Right, and we're going to do the drawing. We're going to give away 10 or 15 prizes. We were going to do 10, but we've been a little bit delayed. Again, we ran into LVA, our deadline there. So we are going to do it tomorrow. Come watch it. Hopefully you win. We'll have some good prizes, and we're even going to give away some chicken fingers again.
Yeah. All right. Crown and Anchor chicken fingers.